see. Okay, we're on there. Let's see here. This is done. This is going, and then go live on Instagram. And then we got here all the little clicks live on Instagram. Okay, there we go. Let's see now. So we'll do the quick test again. I'm just gonna go on. So you just talk a little.
Testing 1, 1, 3, testing. Are we at NASA base? Ready to take off on 3, 2, 1. Testing 1, 3, testing.
It's horrible. I don't know. Wow, it's so much though. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to do about it. I have no solution. Wow, it's so much though. I mean, because it's not, I'm like, if I turn down all of my stuff, so mine isn't even picking up sound anymore. Because it's not, I'm like, if I turn down all of my stuff, so mine isn't even picking up sound. Can you turn the volume down a little bit maybe?
Yes.
If I turn down all of my stuff, so mine isn't even picking up sound. Can you turn the volume down a little bit maybe? Oh! Yes, I know what it is. Okay, so this is what's going on. You know how there's a delay on the stream? So when I listen on a streaming platform, so the streaming platform has a delay. So my computer's delay is not exactly the same as your delay. So you can literally hear us talk twice because your sound is coming out in the room while my sound is in my headphones. So mine isn't gonna pick any of it up. Does that make any sense?
That makes sense.
So yes, I see what Joel is saying. So maybe last time, for some reason it worked because there wasn't a delay on the streaming, but because we're on Wi-Fi, you never freaking know, and sometimes there's a delay. So last time maybe there was no delay, and if there is, we can't really control that part. So if your sound is going out, it's going to pick it up.
Okay.
So I see what he's saying. Maybe we have to just tell everybody to always have headphones. That makes control that part. So if your sound is going out, it's going to pick it up. Do you hear it?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just saying, maybe we have to just tell everybody to always have headphones. That makes sense. Because you can even hear I'm talking and this is picking up, and then you hear me again out of your computer afterwards.
Yeah, I'm gonna quickly see if I can find some headphones. Maybe my GoPro
It's quite annoying, but now it makes sense why it does that.
Yeah, let me quickly look for headphones. You'll be right back.
Okay, yes, I'll just talk some shit. Okay guys, so yeah, because there's a delay, and why there's a delay I can't tell you. That is on the streaming platforms themselves, but we will figure it out, you know. Let's see if we can find some headphones here. That's how it goes when you're trying to get fancy with stuff. Red Pill Cartel podcast, welcome. We're just trying to see if we can get just some headphones so we can get the sound to sound proper and not echo all weird and shit, because we want it to be perfect. So it's a little complicated when you want to be all fancy with the shit. But for now, I'm going to show you guys some stuff that I am doing. First of all, I'm wearing my Kilopedder shirt. New Pure Blood. I also have a poster over here. It's a new Pure Blood launch, which I have on officialpureblood.com. You can buy the Kilopedder shirt. I have a Save Kids or Die. I have we got a Fauci shirt that my dear collaboration partner Red Pill Threads designed, and some other goodies as well. You can go check them out. I'm running a end of the year sale. Wait a second, what is this? Hold on a second, I got some warning triangle. Oh, hold on, I might have found a solution. I might have maybe found a solution also here, actually.
You found a solution?
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Put them in anyway, also. I
Let's do
just found a button that said use echo cancellation.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Again, I am the queen when it comes to visual, but I am not yet the queen when it comes to audio. Okay.
Tell me if it works. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yes. Okay. Let me go back on the. So if your sound is coming out, it's going to pick it up. Oh, it's super. I'm not yet behind. The queen when it comes to audio. Okay.
Tell me if it works.
Oh my god, that is so much better. Yes.
Okay, let me go back on.
So it might work without. If you want to put the headphones in, you can, but it sounds actually pretty decent without also right now.
All right, perfect.
Okay, I was just showing people my Kilopedder shirt, which I have desperately been trying to send some shit over to you over there, but the shipping services are not in our favor. But I will figure it out.
It's not easy, is it, sending stuff to the Netherlands?
I know. I said, like, you know what? I should just buy a flight ticket and come visit because it's the same price. But I ordered some art. So I made some art the other day. I do, digital art, but I've been starting to do some art with my hands and canvases and stuff. So I ordered some prints the other day. And long story short, I put the stuff in my order, right? I'm ordering some posters and canvases and cards. And the total was like, I don't know, $180 or something for everything I wanted. And then it calculates the shipping. And the shipping was $1,600. And I was like, what? But why? And later that day, I figured it all out. But I was like, what is wrong with this world?
Yeah, it's crazy. And with Trump, it's going to be more crazy. Because if you want to import stuff from outside America, it's going to be really expensive.
Someone said, Josh, your Leo energy is too much for SAG. I thought us SAGs are the crazy ones.
Yes. So yeah, let's get back into the...
Okay, before we start, I was just going to show guys what I am drinking when I do my lives. I mix our Focus core product. I'm not going to go into details on what they are right now. Limitless, anti-inflammatory, and then I added in some copper, and I mix it all in there with some water also, and chug it down. That's my biohacking trick right there. And if I want to be up, I don't think we're going to do 4 hours tonight, but if we were to do 4 hours of live streaming, I would have also put a fuel in there, because then I would never have gotten tired. But I'm thinking maybe we'll stick to like 2 hours today and then do more of them instead.
Yeah, that's better than almost 4 hours.
Yes. But I leave it over to you. We'll do a little intro again since the other video and I didn't save it. So welcome back, Joost. I'm super happy to have you again. Last time we had a 4-hour live stream about vampirism and what goes on behind the scenes there, which was super interesting. If somebody wants to check that out, it's on my on my Rumble, on the live feed. You can go watch it. I've also posted a few shorter reels on my Instagram as well. Cut out, actually, the last one I posted about the black mirrors. If you guys haven't seen it, I actually want to play it before we start because I cut it down to a short little version of it. Hold on, mirror. Where'd I put the mirror? Boom, there it is. Okay.
World is about control. It's about crazy sexual stuff. When it comes to an actual ritual, Satanism, Alistair Crowley, vampirism, rituals are always the same. You have a table or an altar or whatever you want to call it. There's always a naked person on there. Sometimes there's a couple on there actually having sex. On the altar there's always in vampirism an obsidian mirror. This is real obsidian. It's glass from a volcano that's totally black. In ancient times they used it for scrying, to actually talk to demons. This is a black mirror. I mean, look at the obsidian mirror and this one. It's exactly the same. It's a portal to demons. It's making people brainless.
That is a very good clip. Like people should, and I'm not saying obviously I have a phone too, so I'm guilty as well, but I am aware, and I think that people need to like understand, and whether you believe in this kind of stuff or not, maybe you don't believe in vampires and demons and all this stuff. I don't give a shit if you do or not. But this is a demonic device that we can all agree on. It's brainwashing people, and putting shit, and like these days now, I mean, they're reading your minds. Like you can just sit and think about a broccoli, and now suddenly you have commercials about broccoli. You don't even have to speak it or search it or anything anymore. It just pops up out of the blue, and that is creepy as fuck.
Yeah, and it's also a tracking device. So
Mhm. Yep. Yeah, I just
that's
realized today that I actually went out earlier today to run an errand, and I ended up having to call Joel to have him come with something for me, right? And then I saw on my phone, I was like, wait, I can see where he is. Wait, can people see where I am too? I'm like, wait, is
yeah.
this what thing is this on the phone? You can just see where people are?
And with the older phones, when it was turned off, it was turned off. But these days, when it's turned off,
Yeah, it's not off.
it still knows where you
Yep.
visited because
One.
sometimes I have my phone totally turned off, and then I visit
Mhm.
a certain store, and then I go back at home and I turn on my phone, and it will ask me how the visit at the store was
Yeah.
at the exact time, at the exact. It's crazy, even when it's turned off. So yeah, it's a totally tracking device. It's a
Mhm.
control device with social media. It's a brainwashing device. So yeah, it's wild.
Yes. Well, today we're going to talk about politics. So, not only have you been on the inside of vampire cults, but you have also been in politics. So, tell me how that happened or how that started.
Yeah, let's get into a little bit of history when it comes to politics, because we got a thing called democracy, right?
Hmm.
And with democracy, every 4 years you can vote on some puppets, and they will allegedly do the stuff you want to do. You want them to do, but
Hmm.
they don't. So yeah, when it comes to history, in the Netherlands in 1848. You had a revolution. The people were sick and tired of the royals, of the tyrants, and they wanted to take over.
Hmm.
And we had Thorbecke, a famous person who went to the king to actually kill him, but instead he made a deal with the king, so the king could remain on his throne, and besides the king, there would be a prime minister that would have the power. So, um, in the French Revolution, you actually kill a king, and in the Dutch Revolution, you make deals with the king. So that's also pretty wild. So I think he got offered a lot of money or power or whatever to keep the king alive, to keep the royals alive, and give us a fake democracy, because in the end it doesn't matter who you vote on. And that was in 1848, so, and it's still going. I mean, do you remember the last time that a political party actually did what they promised?
Probably never, huh?
Never ever.
Hmm.
They just follow the agenda of the royals, of the big companies, of stuff like that. So how did I get into politics? Because when I was younger, I was much like you are. Like, politics is boring. I don't care. Didn't even know the difference between left and right and middle parties. I didn't care at all about politics.
What makes
So
you
how
think
does
I don't?
someone like that?
What makes you think I don't?
You told me once that you don't.
Oh, I mean,
You,
I don't vote because I don't believe in it. I think it's all a game, and it's a made up nonsense to create conflict between people. Doesn't mean that I am not aware of things and how it works, but I see it as just another part of the big game.
Exactly, and for me it was totally boring as well. I never liked classes at school about politics. I always got low grades on that
Mm.
because I didn't give didn't give a fuck about it. So yeah, but then something happened because in the late 90s we got a politician and he was called Pim Fortuyn, and his last name actually means fortune.
Hmm.
Crazy last name, but he was totally different from every other politician because we had a lot of problems back then in the Netherlands with mass immigration, same as we do now. But back then it all sort of started,
Hmm.
open borders and stuff like that. And we had before the European Union existed, we only had the what we called the Benelux. It's Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg working together. So we had our own politics, but after the European Union, we kind of gave away the power to a bigger power, if you know what I mean. So yeah, then he sort of stood up against the system as a politician.
Mm.
And some things he did was like he was against mass immigration because he noticed that the country was changing in a really fast pace, and not for the good, because a lot of immigrants were also the type of immigrants you don't want in your country, the criminal types, the aggressive types, the
Mm.
dangerous types, even when you look at the certain terrorist attacks and stuff like that. So that was one of the things, but that wasn't the thing that really got me into his whole story. But it was during an interview, and he was talking about multinationals, and it was about how several multinationals take over every corner of the street. There's a McDonald's everywhere. There are the big multi-corp clothing stores, stuff like that, and all the small-scale businesses were, being destroyed because they couldn't fight against the big ones, against the big sharks. And he truly believed that we got to save the current country by bringing back the small-scale companies, and the small-scale theory went even um, farther than that, because when I grew up, we had school classes of 12 to 14 children.
Mm.
But later on, the classes would be like 30 or 40 children. So kids those days, they didn't get the same attention as they would in my time. Because when you have a teacher and 12 children, they can, put more attention in children, help them better at gaining their goals, stuff like that. And yeah, he wanted to bring that back as well. So he noticed the power of a small scale.
Mm.
And when it comes to the education system, another thing he noticed was that a lot of school subjects, like mathematics, languages, history lessons, stuff like that, the school system was focusing on the thing you were the worst at. So if you are really bad at math, for example, or English class or whatever, you get put in a class level uh, that suits with your lowest subject, if you know what I mean, the
Mm.
lowest level subject. While your strong abilities don't get to the level they should be at, because they keep you in classes where the lower level children are, because you are bad at only one subject, be it
Mm.
history or math or whatever. And he said that we need a school system where you could do every subject on your own level. So if you are bad at languages like English or Dutch or whatever, but you are a really great math person, then you can achieve that at the highest goal, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted to help grow the things children are good at and not put them to a lower level because of the things they are not good at. So he wanted to change the education system. So that was also a really interesting thing he had, because the school system, it always looks at the things you are not good at and not the things you are good at. So he wanted to change that as well. So basically he wanted to do a lot of great things, in my opinion. Small scale classes, doing every subject at your own level, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Was his
So
focus the school system, or what was he more about?
everything,
Mm-hmm.
it was about everything. It was about mass migration, because the Netherlands is quite a small country,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really crowded these days.
Yeah.
We need
I
a
don't know
lot
if
of
it's similar to. Do you know anything about Sweden? Because I think it's a little bit similar. Like we just, for as long as I know, and it's only gotten worse. Sweden just lets everybody come in because they're so scared of to seem like they're race. I say they. I'm not gonna say me. They're racist, so they're just like, "Oh, welcome. You're not from here. Well, do you want to come in? Oh, do you want a social and a house? Yeah, that's cool. No questions asked. Welcome in." And then they go out and freaking rape people.
yes, yes, exactly. And the Netherlands is exactly the same.
Mm,
It's we let everybody in,
mm,
even during the whole IS thing. The terrorist group.
mm.
A lot of those terrorists, they threw away their passport and stuff like that, and we just let them in without a passport, and we give them a new name. So even that's
That's
happening. It's
fantastic, right?
crazy.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of dangerous terrorists living here these days. So there's also that. So yeah, basically that guy was uh, first of all, the Netherlands is exactly the same as Sweden, and
Mm,
Pim Fortuyn, he saw that happening and he wanted to put a stop to it. He just wanted to have borders again, not have the European Union, but have your own country with your own laws and your own uh, thing going, if you know what I mean. So yeah, he kind of wanted to stop the whole agenda.
yeah.
He noticed the agenda and he wanted to stop it. And in 2002, it was election time. He would have won. He would have been prime minister of the Netherlands,
Yep.
because everybody voted on him. And he went
Mm-hmm.
he went for an interview on national television. He did his interview. He was again talking about small scale, about how we need to close the borders and fix stuff before we let other people enter the Netherlands, stuff like that, basic common sense. And it was an amazing interview, and he got outside, and guess what?
What happened?
He got shot in the head.
Oh,
He got assassinated,
nice.
just right there. And why? In my
Do
opinion,
they know by
because,
how? By who? Sorry. Do they know by who?
yeah, they had a suspect, but, it's just like the JFK thing.
Mm.
People hear multiple shots,
Yeah.
but they only take one subject.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like CIA kind of thing.
Mm.
If you ask me, they just killed him, and that's that. It was just an assassination.
Yeah.
But they first tried to destroy him through the media.
Yeah.
They made him look like a racist. They made him look like whatever, you know. May compare him to Adolf Hitler, stuff like that.
Mm.
So they first tried to destroy someone by the media. It didn't work because people kept voting for them, and you know how the agencies work when they first do the soft things. They put you on trial, they put you on trial by media, and if that doesn't work, they are judge, jury, and executioner by just killing a politician. So yeah, that guy, he really made me believe in politics again, if you know what I mean, because
Yeah.
he was
You're like,
totally
wow, he got
different.
killed. Let me do that shit.
Yeah, well, not getting killed, but
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this guy is really going to change politics. So he had a political party, and back then you got a Game of Thrones, which I talked about, I think, the last podcast, when everybody wants to sit on the throne.
Yeah.
So what was happening between the party? It split up into 2 to 3 different parties, and back then I just wanted to join one of the 3 parties that resonates the most with me, right?
So
So
what
yeah,
was the
I
difference between? So you say he had one party, but they split up into 3 parties. So why did they split up? Did they have such different views on what they wanted after that?
well, the thing was everybody wanted to sit on the throne, and they couldn't agree on who would sit on the throne.
Got it.
So
Okay.
you know the
So
alpha
they
male
had
bullshit.
similar goals still? Did they want to achieve similar
Si-
things?
yes, same goals, just when the alpha males
Yeah.
come in the group, you know how it
No,
goes. They
no
can never.
alpha females there too.
Not sure, but it was mostly men anyways in politics back then.
Yeah.
So yeah, I joined one of the groups, and I was interested in politics. So we first
So what
I
did you
spoke to them.
join? Like what was your role and how did you join? Like how does that work?
Well, first of all, they had a website and they had a forum, and to become part of a political party, first you become a member, a paying member. And I was very active on the forums, and
Yeah.
then they invited me to go to a local pub here in the Netherlands and just have some beers and talk stuff over. And they were like, we are going to debates, every political party is going to debates, and you have to talk about stuff and debate stuff and stuff like that. And the first thing I noticed is that, I had my own ideas, but they tell you, well, your own ideas don't matter. You are gonna tell during the debates what we tell you to tell. So basically,
Yeah,
you are
that's where
just,
the fucked up part. You're basically just a puppet.
you're basically a puppet. They tell you what to say, they tell you what to do, they tell you what to vote, they tell you what
Yeah.
to. It's crazy. And another really crazy part was, and I talked about this in the group with Snake Turbanhead and Ben from the Unchained Brain. Um, it's about Talleyrand people. In French, they call him Talleyrand, and it's a historical figure during the Napoleon time. Because Napoleon back then was in war with the Russians, and Talleyrand, he was a spy. And he was an advisor of both the Russians and the French, of both Napoleon and the Russian Empire. But the crazy part is, Talleyrand was a double spy, so he was working for the Russians against the French, but also working for the French against the Russians. He was a type of guy that just everything he did only for himself, just like the agencies do.
Yep.
They only care about their own power, about their own stuff like that. And when it comes to Talleyrand, he is mentioned in the book I showed earlier in the podcast, The 48 Laws of Power. And this is the Dutch version. But the people in the political party I was in, they really, really liked Talleyrand. They looked up to people like that because the most dangerous people in politics are people like that, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
So yeah, they looked up to people like Talleyrand. They also read books like this one, Sun Tzu, The Art of
Mm-hmm.
War. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you heard about that one. Also,
Yeah,
really.
I think so. Mm-hmm.
So, 48 Laws of Power and Sun Tzu are the books every politician reads because it's all about power, the Game of Thrones, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yep.
So I noticed and eventually learned that people in the political party they don't care about the voters. They don't care about that at all. They only care about their position on the throne, the power they gain, the money they gain, the fame they gain.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing is about, saving the Netherlands or saving America or saving making America great again. They don't care. They only care about themselves. So for me, that learning about how much they loved people like Talleyrand, learning about that the 48 laws of power were really important to them. Um, Me not able to say the stuff I wanted to say. Basically, if you join a political party, you're just a puppet and nothing
Yeah.
more.
I mean, it works like that everywhere. I've had before worked for myself and I had a regular job. This entire business was two parties, and the ass kissing the leader and the ass kissing the leader. And I remember I was the only one who was not. There were group chats with ass kissing going on, and I did not kiss ass. So the person wanted to fire me because I didn't kiss his ass. So then I went over to the other side, the other party, because he was like, "You can't fire her. She's doing everything at this fucking company." But yeah, so I mean, there's politics there everywhere. Everything is, and I never understood the part. I said I wasn't in politics, but there too, I was like, did you not guys hire me because of a skill I have? Because you want to utilize my skill because maybe you don't have it. No, not at all. They don't give a fuck about what you know. Are you gonna kiss ass or are you not? Like,
Exactly, it's all about ass kissing and about obeying, and eventually you get on the throne. But there's
mm,
always someone above you.
yeah.
There's always someone you have to obey. So that's the whole system. And later I found out that the political leader
Mm,
of the group I was in, he was associated with Nazis.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
There were pictures of him
Mm,
with a couple of people. It was even a group of hooligans.
mm,
And you know what hooligans do? They riot, they
mm,
vandalize, they attack people. So we had a whole group of hooligans
mm,
to send out to certain events. That's also wild. And um, there were some pictures leaked about him. Where he was sitting in a living room with certain hooligans, and there was a Nazi flag behind him, and there was the White Pride Worldwide flag behind him. So yeah,
mm.
he was associated with really crazy, dangerous type of people. So for me, that was the moment I was like, no, this is nothing for me. Politics is
Yeah.
way too crazy. When people are connected to Nazi Germany, it's wild. It's
What do you think about that's a whole other conversation for another time maybe about the whole thing with the Nazis and Hitler and every things are definitely not what we have been told, and certain things about Hitler is probably not at all what we've been taught. And yeah, that's a whole other story. That it's a I haven't dig down that full down the rabbit hole, but a lot of things are not what they seem. And now,
well,
bottom line, I mean, if people have gone and watched King Bao's live, he's been going through the Illuminati's books, like literally just reading them or playing them out loud on live stream and commenting. And it's, mind blown. I'm only on the first book so far. He's just started the second book, I think. But it's crazy how they're just saying everything. And they're even saying that it doesn't matter, everything is the same. It doesn't matter what party you're on, it doesn't matter what side you're on, it doesn't matter if you're left or right or red or blue, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. It's all the same people, and they're creating all of this to cause conflict. it doesn't fucking matter which side you pick. You just pick one and fight the other side. That's the whole point.
Yeah, exactly. And when you look at Adolf Hitler or Napoleon in the 48 Laws of Power, because they write a lot about Napoleon and Julius Caesar and stuff like that. And funny thing, you know the HBO series Rome?
I have not seen that, I think.
It's 2 seasons and it's really awesome. It's about the Roman Empire, about the Julius Caesar
Yeah.
period.
Maybe I need to
And
watch because all of these things are freaking documentaries. We've just been watching King Kong and Godzilla now, the movies. I don't know if you guys have seen them.
yeah,
Everything on the internet, everything is a documentary, guys.
yeah, exactly. But the funny thing about a Julius Caesar, an Adolf Hitler, a Napoleon is that they are the front guy, and everybody blames them for everything that's happening. But when you look
Yeah.
at the series like Rome or reading the 48 Laws of Power, you always know it's always that they have advisors behind them.
Of course. I mean, because they're if they were the actual brains behind everything, they probably wouldn't be known.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's the advisors like Talleyrand that I just talked about that is working both sides, that is just stirring up a war and making money out of it. Those are the real people in power. So like you said, when you think about Adolf Hitler, he was just a puppet.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
was
I was just watching the cartoon movie the other day, with Hitler and Disney, how they had a relationship. Have you seen it?
yeah,
It's pretty
yeah, yeah.
it's
I
pretty funny cartoon. And when you also see like all of these connections, which I guess it's not like hidden now. I'm sure a lot of people probably have heard about it, but when you go into like the Disney movies and you see all of these signs, and I think they even made a cartoon out of Hitler and everything, right?
yeah, I think uh, I'm not sure in your podcast or with Ben's, but I showed the connection between Disney and Adolf
Oh
Hitler.
yes, you and me talked about it. And then I
Yes.
think I don't remember, it might have been right after that because only a couple of days after you and me had that live went I think it was slightly before Thanksgiving, right? Because I went to a place for like a Thanksgiving hangout, and the guy that has the dinner, I don't even know how the conversation started. He ends up playing the cartoon about Disney and Hitler, and I was like, wait a second. What?
Yeah, everything connects, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was basically my political career. I was totally done with it,
Uh-huh.
as you
So
can
how long were
imagine.
you a
When
part of that?
I think about 1 or 2 years,
Oh,
because
it was a little while though. Mm-hmm.
that was enough for me to see all the bullshit. And
Yeah.
I attended a couple of debates,
Uh-huh.
and when it comes to debates, it's just people argue during the debate, but afterwards they all drink beer together, right?
Oh
So
yeah. I bet they
it's
do.
like
Again, they're
it's
all the
like
same. They're all the same side, and it's just a game or a job or whatever you frick you want to call it.
yeah, left, right, or middle, it doesn't matter because in the
They're
end
all
they drink
actors.
beer. Exactly, it's an acting job.
Yeah.
It's not a
100%, yes.
So yeah, I was totally done with that, and yeah, after that I did a lot of research into the systems behind the political system because to me that was more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told you about Thorbecke,
Mm-hmm.
Johan Rudolph Thorbecke, the guy during the 1848, during the
Yeah.
revolution.
Mm-hmm.
The people in the Netherlands, they wanted to behead the king.
Let me
And
pull up some info while you're talking.
yeah, sure.
Here we go.
So yeah, he was basically the father of democracy in the Netherlands, and it was Willem III, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
the king back then.
Mm-hmm.
And Thorbecke promised the people he would kill the king and take over, and we would have a real democracy. But instead, he made a deal. Isn't that kind of weird? How someone, you are going to take down the system, and then you cooperate with the system and create a fake democracy and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know what he was offered, but it would be some really powerful or money, I don't know, but it would be a really amazing gift that he got out of the king. So yeah, let's get into the Dutch royals, because they are quite interesting as well. Did you know they are one of the most powerful people on this planet? The Dutch royals. For example, Shell, the company Shell.
Yep.
Basically, they control all the oil in the world. When you think of other oil companies like Texaco, BP, stuff like that, they buy their oil from Shell. Shell is like the main company of all the oil. And guess what the name of Shell was in the past?
I don't know.
Dutch Royal Company Shell.
Oh, that it.
So it was. So it was the company from the Dutch royals, and they still control over half the assets of the company. So basically, we think that people in Dubai and people in the Middle East control all the oil, but that's not true. It's the Dutch people, the Dutch royals that own everything. So that's pretty wild. And something crazy about the Dutch royals is that we aren't allowed to know what assets they own. We have to pay taxes, so they get a couple of million euros a year out of us, out of the taxpayers. Well, we don't know how rich they are, and trust me, they are extremely, extremely rich. When you think of oil, it's not just oil in a car or planes or whatever, but it's everything made out of plastic. It's everything. So basically, they control a really, really powerful resource in this world. So yeah, that's the Dutch royals to you. And did you know they also have connections to Nazi Germany?
Yeah.
Because I gave you a link about Prince Bernhard.
Yes.
Prince Bernhard. Open that one, because it's pretty wild.
What are we
Dutch
looking at
Prince
here?
Bernhard.
Nazi card. Oh, so is that his basically card that says he's a part of the party?
Yes, he was part of the Nazi party during World War II. So yeah, and he was proud of it because, after World War II, everybody was like, the Nazis are the bad guys, and we gotta get rid of everything that you own, like your membership card, stuff like that. Did you know that Prince Bernhard, he saved his card till he died? Yeah. He was so proud of it that he kept it, and eventually people found it. That he kept it, so he was that proud of being a Nazi.
Secret, but he was proud of it, or was he not keeping it a secret?
He kept it a secret. He kept it a secret that he was keeping that card of his. So yeah, that's pretty wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
And another wild thing, when you look at the queen we have now, that is married to King Willem. When you look into her father, because I gave you also a link about that, so
yes,
let's just look into it.
There we go.
Because you know that after World War II, a lot of powerful Nazis, they went to Argentina and to the east, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, look at the details about her father.
What do we say here? Do you want me to read it up?
Yeah,
Queen
because it's some good
Maxima's
stuff.
father sparked strife in the Dutch royal family in 2001 when the crown prince Willem Alexander wanted to go to Argentina to ask Jorge Sorregueta, maybe I said that right, for Maxima's hand in marriage. Willem Alexander and Queen Beatrix clashed over his planned trip to Buenos Aires and Sorregueta's presence at his and Maxima's wedding, culminating in Willem Alexander saying he'd give up the kingship in order to marry Maxima. AD and ANP report based on a BNN Vara, whatever it's called, documentary. The reason for the strife is that Sorregueta was a minister in Argentina's Videla regime. I can't say these English words. A
Regime.
dictatorship that yes, it's my Swede in me. A dictatorship that killed tens of thousands of political opponents. The documentary cites handwritten notes of a meeting of Nordende Palace on 15th January 2015 between Queen Beatrix, Crown Prince Willem Alexander, and Prime Minister Wim Kok. The notes were taken by Max van der Stoel, the Dutch government's negotiator on the wedding. So what
Yeah,
happened? Did he?
that was the most important thing to read.
You said it was not?
So you can close that one.
Oh. So what? Did he marry her?
Yeah, he married her, and as you could see, her father was a tyrant.
Uh-huh.
And like I said, most Nazis they escaped to Argentina, so
Uh-huh.
they also got Nazi connections.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's pretty crazy, isn't it?
So did he give up his kingship?
No, he's king now.
Oh, he's the king now. These type of things I do not know. I
So he
don't even
gave
look
up kingship
into
to marry her, and then he
yeah.
became the king.
Yeah. I mean, you never know either. So if that's was the public information, who the hell knows what actually the facts were here?
Yeah, so it's pretty wild, right? The connection with the Nazis and with Shell and with everything.
I mean, I think anyone who has any sort of power anywhere at all they're all connected to something, right?
Exactly.
Because otherwise they
And
wouldn't have the position they have. And I'm sure there are
and
good people getting born into these families or whatnot, but I also think it's hard to I don't really, to be honest, I probably should look into all of this with Sweden too. We have, we have a king and a queen and all this stuff, and then they have 3 children, which was like, okay, the daughter, she became the queen, and she does all this stuff, but then you see like the other two. I mean, they kind of just disappeared and started becoming regular people because they didn't really want to have anything to do with it.
yeah, maybe there are some good ones in there as well because they are people nonetheless.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you look at the Dutch royals, why would you marry the daughter of a dictator who is also a war criminal? You know,
I mean, it's love.
You think so, or was he chosen
What?
to?
Yeah. Who knows? Probably. Probably
So yeah,
chosen.
that's that's Dutch politics. We got the king and the queen.
Mm-hmm.
We got the ex-Nazi Prince Bernard.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, there's a lot of wild stuff going on when it comes to the royals. A
Yep.
lot of wild stuff. A lot of Nazi connections, and Dutch people still worship them.
Yep.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah. It's pretty weird. I mean, Again, I don't know what's going on in Sweden now. I left a long time ago, but that was definitely a thing. I remember when I was young, and like my grandmother wanted to just go watch the royal family. Like you just watch them, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, coming from the Dutch politics, let's go into the world politics because that one is
Yes,
also
the
really
juicy
interesting. I did
stuff.
a lot of research on that.
Mm-hmm.
That is why I bought this book
Yep.
because I wanted to know more. Just read his own words and you know more. Remember where we were discussing transhumanism, the chip in everybody's brain, and that
Yep.
being a soul trap
If you
eventually
guys want to
because you
hear more
can't.
about that, that was from our last live when we talked about the vampirism and everything, and we were talking about the World Economic Forum a little bit as well, and how these companies and Microsoft and whatnot are basically working to control you guys' minds.
So here are some goals Klaus Schwab has, and
Mm-hmm.
then we go into the World Economic Forum. The tipping point. The first human whose genome was directly and deliberately edited is born.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to edit DNA
Mm-hmm.
to create a human being they want to create. And it's literally, let me see, gotta move it this way.
Yep.
See, so they want to genetic engineer
Mm-hmm.
humans and create their own species, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing they want to do is this right here. Let's see if it gets sharp.
Neurotechnologies. Mm-hmm. The first
And
human with
that's
fully artificial memory.
so yeah, that's practically the brain chip they want to put in us.
Yeah.
So they want to genetically engineer
They
us
have
and
done
then put
this,
it.
so that's just a side note because I know that they've been doing that in Sweden for a very long time. And I remember that I told my dad once, and I said, they're putting microchips in people in Sweden. And he's like, stop being such a conspiracy theorist. And then I remember a couple of years later, he called me once. He's like, remember that thing you told me about the chips in the brain? It's true. I'm like, yeah, I know. And this is,
Yeah,
I
and
mean, I've known this for a long time over there. And I'm sure
yeah, and
it's everywhere.
let me show another strange connection because you got Klaus Schwab, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and this is an image of him
Yep.
where he has an image of the Black Sun. As you can see, and the Black Sun was also
Mm-hmm.
used by the Nazis, so
Mm-hmm.
he's also pretty much an occult kind of figure. So the cult stuff is also connected to everything, like I said in the last podcast.
Everything is
So
connected. That's why it's
yeah,
it's it's interesting. I said people don't even realize. Like we can talk about vampires and monsters and demons, and then we talk about politics. Yes, all the same shit.
yes, everything is connected.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's head into the World Economic Forum because
Yes.
one of the things is we have world conflicts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Putin against Zelensky and against America, and we got all these, presidents and prime ministers. So I gave you a couple of links
Yep.
about every political leader that has been at the World Economic Forum, or at least
Yes.
some of them.
Mm-hmm.
So let's show that first, so
What do you want me
people
to
get
play?
an idea.
Clinton or just all of them? We'll do one at a time.
One, you don't have to fully play them. Just
Yep.
show the screen only. You don't have to turn on the video. Just let people see that it's actually from the World Economic Forum.
Yes. Okay. So here we're gonna do. We got the screen. Hold on. We got Mr. Clinton here, right there.
Yes.
The World Economic Forum.
And we all
He's
need each
there.
other.
Then we got Here he is. We got
Joe
Trump.
Biden.
Yeah. Where is he? There. Yeah. Wonderful.
Donald Trump.
Then we got Putin.
Russia, Mr. President, has shown.
All right. Yeah. And how do you even say his name? Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping. Yeah.
Today's
They're
time.
all there.
So yeah, and even if you look for Zelensky or other people, you can all YouTube it and you will see them speak at the World Economic Forum. So basically, every single politician is there, even opponents from each other that are at war with each other. And there they drink beer together, just like I said in the political debates, you know. You are enemies, but meanwhile you drink beer together, have parties together, do wild shit together. So yeah, the whole political system is a stage. Putin is friends with the World Economic Forum, Trump is, Joe Biden is, I think you can even find RFK there, you know, Kennedy.
Oh, I am sure, yes.
Everybody, every politician goes there. But not only the politicians, because it gets more interesting, because also Elon Musk.
Yep.
Big companies.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Jack Ma from AliExpress, from Alibaba.
Oh God, there's
So yeah,
commercials and all these clips. Get me away from this.
So yeah, let's show that as well.
Yeah. There's just some. Hold on, let me see here. Can we just? Wait.
Because World
Am I
Economic
going in
Forum.
this clip here? I'm on the Elon Musk one, but it. I don't know what it's doing.
Yeah, you don't have to fully play it, but just know that Elon Musk has been there at the World Economic Forum.
Yeah, Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Here he is,
See?
our favorite.
Yeah. And then we have to check out.
24 people went for the job.
Yeah.
So every big company goes there, every multinational, from China, from Russia, from America. And even the royals go there, because I gave you another video.
That one has a
Great. The new GoDaddy Arrow has AI marketing tools to help small businesses.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to this session.
Yes.
Role, so you have a long-time commitment and are an ad.
That's Queen Maxima, whose father is you know, a war criminal. So even she goes there.
Yep.
And she was, at that video, that's also really interesting. She was talking about the social credit system right there. Because she wanted the digital currency to happen as soon as possible and get rid of cash money. They wanted to block it. So, yeah, it's that wild, but there are also people there that you don't expect. I sent it on Instagram to you. Like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh yeah, do we want to dig it up here? Hold on.
Because even famous actors, Hollywood actors, go there. You know, it's all controlled. Big media companies go there. Like I said, every politician in the world, every big company, every media company, every celebrity that has a lot of influence goes there. And you know how popular Leonardo DiCaprio is amongst many people.
I swore I saw you sent me to it earlier, and now I can't. It's not even here anymore.
Well, just Google it. Just Google Leonardo DiCaprio and then web. Leonardo DiCaprio web. You will find it. Trust me.
DiCaprio. Well, let's see here. Yes. Okay. So share. Here he is. Right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
See? He is part of it. So everybody is.
Yep.
Yes, this video, this one I sent you.
Oh, they're such good people, huh?
Yeah.
That's what they wanted to seem like.
And the thing Leonardo DiCaprio is pushing is the climate change agenda.
Yep.
And together with that comes the social credit system.
Oh yeah. If anyone hasn't watched, but funny enough, the freaking series is called Black Mirror, which was, I think it might have been on Netflix. I don't know, but they did like little mini movies each episode, and one episode is about the social score. Basically, you walk around and you have a score on your phone, and depending on what you do, you get better or worse scores. So like if you pass somebody on the street and you smile at them and then you rate them real quick, so if you do something wrong you get a bad score, and then the lower your score is and then you can't do anything. So long story short, the girl that the episode is about, she ends up doing something by mistake to some person, I don't even remember what she did, and her score goes down, and suddenly she can't get a car, she can't get a house, she can't, like, she literally can't even charge her electric car she had at first. It's just like her just life spirals down, and eventually, you know, she doesn't have any friends, she can't do anything anymore because her score went down. So no matter how extreme the episode is, because I remember I watched it way back, like long time ago, and it started and I was like, oh my god, that's what the fuck is gonna happen eventually. It's not even that weird, that's what's coming. Or the carbon footprint.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit, you know, they're gonna like count your freaking carbon footprint, and if you go over, okay, now you can't travel anymore because you've used too much, you know.
Yeah, pretty wild, isn't it? So yeah, the World Economic Forum, they meet every single year in February, and the crazy thing about that is there are special elite soldiers there.
Yep.
Snipers on the roof, everything. So if you're not invited, you can't enter. They will just shoot you on sight. So that's one really wild thing. There are also prostitutes for every member that goes there.
Nice.
You know, the high class prostitutes. So that's already crazy. And this is a place where the agenda is shared amongst the elite.
Yes.
So yeah, that's pretty wild. So let's go deeper into the agendas, because
Oh yes, please.
I'm going to give people some homework.
I love this.
First thing they got to look into is Agenda 2030. It's about climate change and social credit system, stuff like that.
Yep.
Then the second thing they got to look into is Agenda 2045. The time when they want to have us all transhuman.
Yep.
The fourth industrial revolution is basically this agenda. Then I want people to look into transhumanism. Just ask ChatGPT what it is, and they will know.
Oh, should we do it on here? Hold on, I even have it up. ChatGPT.
Yeah, just look into transhumanism.
Yes, let's do it. So we screen share. Okay, this is, ignore what I did over here. There we go. What is transhumanism? Transhumanism is a philosophical and intellectual movement that advocates for the use of technology and science to enhance human physical, intellectual, and physiological capacities. It envisions the possibilities of transforming the human condition by addressing fundamental biological limitations and striving for a future where humans can transcend their current physical and cognitive boundaries. Sorry. Human enhancement, we got emerging technologies, radical life extension, cyborgization, post-humanism, ethical consideration. Everyone should just, here's the thing, I'm not like a huge fan of AI in general, but I use ChatGPT for some things because it freaking tells you everything. Pretty much. And also, every single thing we're going through here, talking about on all of our lives, if you haven't read Illuminati's, the books, it's all in there from 1975. If you guys didn't know, in 1975, you could have read all of this already.
So yeah, and then there are two other systems that kind of mix up with the whole agenda, and it's Agenda 2030, and people can look into that as well. The first thing is the 15-minute cities. The idea is to have a city
Yep.
that has everything in it.
Mm-hmm.
So within 15 minutes, you can go from home to work, or to a local park, or go to a restaurant, etc.
Yep.
You have everything you need within a 15-minute zone.
And you should never have to go anywhere else.
Exactly. And when I think about that, about the 15-minute cities, I think about which companies will be there. Will there be small-scale companies left? Family-owned companies, or will it only be multinational companies? Because, if you got a 15-minute zone, you only got so much space.
Robots. I would
Yeah, and
robots run.
And you only got so much space for stores, right? So, yeah, the multinationals, they will take over every single store. Nobody can own property anymore. Nobody can own, like Klaus Schwab would say, you own nothing and be happy. So you got a 15-minute city with everything in it. Yep. So you only got your McDonald's and your KFC and your Starbucks and everything fast food.
Kind of like an airport. It sounds like an airport.
Yes, exactly.
What do you guys think? Would you want to live on an airport?
And it will be near
the airport.
And it will be near impossible to get your own healthy food because everything is controlled and every resource. And the crazy thing is, they also want to put in a social credit carbon footprint system because of the climate change. We gotta stop the climate change. So
yeah.
what
Somebody just said, actually, excellent use of AI. While you have that AI chat up, ask AI who is the wealthiest ethnic group in the world. Everyone complains about the 1%, myself included. Look at the answer it gives you. Okay, let's see what it gives them. Who's the wealthiest ethnic group in the world? Let's check it out.
Let's see.
See what it says. Who is the wealthiest ethnic group in the world? Determining the wealthiest ethnic group in the world depends on how wealthiest is defined. Well, that is true. But we got Jewish communities. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, right? Indian diaspora. What is that? I don't even know what that is. Indian expatriates, particularly in countries like the United States, United Kingdom, and Gulf region. Chinese. What is diaspora? I never heard that word. Excuse my Swedish. White European descendants. Okay, so, there's a little bit everywhere, I suppose, but it doesn't surprise me that the Jewish comes up first, right? Particularly Ashkenazi Jews. They're often noted for their high representation in fields such as finance, technology, law, and medicine. Well, yeah. But again, that's actually, honestly, AI is pretty smart. So what is wealth anyway? If you ask one person, they might say that wealth is that you have millions of dollars or billions of dollars. While if you ask somebody else, such as myself, wealth to me is the fact that I have all the freedom in the world. I can do whatever I want. I don't follow no stupid rules. I don't live in the matrix. That's wealth to me. And I have real freaking food every day that I can eat that comes from real, properly grown things and raised animals. And I can Literally, I can wake up every day and do whatever the fuck I want. And today I wanted to do this, so now I do this. That is wealth to me. So it all depends. You know, ChatGPT is not so stupid. Maybe one day it will say, do you know what wealth is? Maaxx and Joost, they're wealthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, back to the carbon footprint system. What will happen is that you live in a block just like in the Hunger Games, and you got your carbon credit, right? And if you want to move to another 50-minute zone, you got to pay some carbon coins, right? So you got,
Oh, is that
let's
what the
say you
bricks
get.
is? Is that what like?
What did you say?
No, it says bricks after carbon footprint systems. Bricks.
No, the bricks is something else. I'm gonna talk
Okay.
about bricks later.
It was added on the same line.
Yeah, but basically the carbon footprint system, it will give you certain points, and those points allow you to buy clothes or to travel or whatever. But there's gonna be a nice thing, because poor people can sell those carbon points for money. So the rich people can travel by plane and go on vacations, while the poor can go from one district to another. You know, go from one 15-minute zone to the other 15-minute zone to visit family. But if you do that too much too often, well, you lose your social points.
Yeah.
So basically, they want to put us in open air prisons. That's basically it.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you said it's easier to visit the Netherlands to give me those merchandise, now you can, in 2030 or 2045, you can't, because you don't have the points.
Okay, I better ship it real quick.
Better ship it real quick, or you're always welcome to visit the
I
Netherlands if you
am
like.
a sovereign being here, so I will make my way over there, even when there are 15-minute cities, because I ain't living in any of them. We have to have our own freaking society outside of all of this. And if we get, here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you guys something. I am a master manifester, and a lot of other people I have around me are too. None of this shit's gonna happen. We're gonna write the next series of Illuminati's books the way we want them, because the people that wrote those books, they manifested the shit that goes on right now. So now it's our turn to manifest the future.
Exactly, and that's also in my book. I write about all the stuff that I discuss that I discuss now, and that I discuss about the vampires, the cults.
When is your book gonna come out? Because it's almost done, right?
It's almost done. I got the last chapter halfway in word by word translation.
Nice.
Then I need to edit a couple of things, and Ben told me to get it on Amazon, but for that I gotta have an IRS number or a taxation number, so I gotta, call the IRS and get that stuff set up before I can actually sell it.
Screw that.
So yeah, I gotta do that, and then I gonna launch it. So that's gonna be awesome when it's done.
Yes.
Ben gave me a lot of good information about that, so I'm gonna work on that as well. So before we go into the bricks and the last thing we are gonna discuss, maybe it's good if I first tell you the Ace Menon stuff that happened to me.
Yes, absolutely. So you started right after we did our last live, right? What is it, a few weeks?
Yes, couple of weeks now. I think 3 weeks, something like that.
2-3 weeks. And you tried the Ace Man, and did you do the beta lens too? No, you didn't first, right?
No. I used the beta lens for like 3 days now, but the immune I did all the time.
Yes.
And I took 2 of them, one in the morning, one in the evening.
Perfect. You actually read the instructions and did a full serving.
Yes.
Like, I took 1 a day. That's a half a serving. Yes.
Yes, I took the full serving. So things that happened to me. The first thing that happened, and I got to go back in history a little bit. It's when I was a kid, and I had my first two adult teeth in the front. I had an accident and I fell on the curb, and one of my teeth was totally loose, and the other one was smashed into my skull,
Oh.
basically.
Yeah.
So I thought it broken off because it was gone, the tooth,
Yeah.
but it
Oh, and
smashed
just
into my
shot
skull.
right up there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So after that accident, I went to dentist, and the dentist told me the tooth will grow back by itself. It will go
Yeah.
back into the
Like it will
position.
just come out again, or a new tooth will come.
No, the same tooth. It came out again. So after it fully grew back and the loose tooth got back sturdy again in my mouth, then the dentist told me because of the accident I had to do a root canal. You know, take out the nerve system of the teeth, stuff like that. But what they did not tell me is that after a root canal, the tooth will slowly rot, and it will be
I
there
had
like
actually
50.
2 root canals myself, and if I would have known what I know, I would have never done that.
No, never ever do a root canal because later the dentist told me it only lasts 15 years and then the tooth will have to come out anyways.
Yeah.
Luckily, thanks to my healthy lifestyle, I got the tooth like 30 years, double the time, which
Oh,
is
wow.
insane by itself.
Yeah.
Like I said, I live a healthy lifestyle. I don't like McDonald's, I don't like Starbucks, so that helps.
Okay. Actually,
So
and you live in Europe, because I have those crazy people that always say, Max, you talk about McDonald's, but we live in Europe. It's not the same thing. Oh, shut the fuck up. I'm Swedish. It's the same garbage. Maybe it's different garbage, but it's also garbage.
trust me, it's the same thing.
Yes.
So yeah, I had root canal, but a couple of months ago, it got infected, the tooth, because it's slowly rotting and you can't stop that process, no matter what you do. So they had to pull it out, and it's a front tooth. You don't want to lose a front tooth because I love to bite necks. You know, I'm a vampire. That's my kind of kink. So so I was like, what are the options? And it's either a construction with a fake tooth that you need to take out and stuff. And I was like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. And the other option is quite expensive option. It's an implant. So they basically put a screw.
Yeah, I have an implant myself.
Yeah, so I went for that because I want to bite some necks. I like that stuff.
Yes.
So yeah, I got an implant, and it healed really well, and everything was perfect. So yeah, I got the implant, but on I think the third day that I started Ace Manon, it started to get irritated and bleeding, the implant. But I know during a surgical, what they do, they put in anesthetics and stuff like that, and they clean it up with chemicals, and then they put in the screw. So what was happening for 24 hours, it was bleeding, it was irritated and bleeding, and I was like, oh shit, it's not going to get infected again, is it? But it was only 24 hours, it was just bleeding and it was gone. So that was the first thing that's happening, kind of like, and
so the Ace Manon, just to explain to people what that, Ace Manon detoxes toxins out of your body. So what likely happened here is, because of how they do the procedure, you have shit inside of you that your body doesn't want to be there, right? And if you go to like a doctor or whatever, they're obviously going to do everything they can to make you seem like everything is good, right? So you go home and it's like, yeah, I healed, everything is fine, but there's probably still shit inside there that your body doesn't really want. And when you start taking the Ace Manon, it just shot it out.
Yeah, so that was the first thing. The second thing that happened was, when I was going to the toilet for number two, it was a Moto Grand Prix, GP Grand Prix,
Hmm.
because it's like you get diarrhea in the first days.
You can,
That's
same.
just
It's detoxing. So your body gets rid of toxins. That's what happens. So the ace man goes in. It basically a woman that had the best explanation is imagine little Pac-Mans that swim into your body and they look around. They're like, uh-oh, what's over there? This shouldn't be here. Let's take that. Nom nom nom. Let's push it out somewhere. And that's just, like everybody kind of gets it different. Some people go to the bathroom. That's very true. Some people can get, like you said, your tooth bleed. Or let's say you're a person that has eczema. You might get an eczema flare up real quick. Or like me personally, I had a lot of joint itis that we're not supposed to say, a lot of joint discomfort. So right in the beginning, it started hurting a little bit more. And then after that, it was gone. So sometimes it can almost get a little bit worse, but typically very, very quickly. It gets a little worse. Your body gets rid of the shit and then it starts to heal you.
Yeah, exactly. So it went normal real quick, and I am the type of person I always check my poop after I did a number two.
Mm-hmm.
I check the color, and I don't put my nose above it, but when you are doing your thing, you smell it, right? And if it smells bad, you live not so healthy. And
Yep.
when it smells good, you're on the right path. And with the Ace Melon, I had something really strange. It smelled like cow poop, plant-based poop.
Oh,
While I mostly eat meat, so I never had it smell
interesting.
like that before, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And to everybody watching, checking your poop is really important because you can check if you have certain diseases. If it's too dark, you got a lot of inflammation in your guts. If it's, it should be kind of light brownish
Mm-hmm.
color. And if it floats, it's also not good. It should not float because then
Yes.
there's too much gas in it.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
mean, the
I'm the
pee
type of
also.
person.
You can see a lot
I
from the
check
pee
it.
and the poop. Yep.
So yeah, do check it. And like I said, yeah, another side effect was that it was smelling, kind of like cow poop, which is really strange. But yeah, it did.
Interesting. Is it still?
Sometimes,
You might still
but
be
it doesn't.
detoxing some. Just keep track. It's still early, and then with the beta lanes, it will start reducing. So what the ace mana does, it goes into your body, it eliminates toxins and bad cells, and then it starts to replicate your good cells, which also is called stem cells. I'm sure everybody knows what that is. So it increases your stem cell production up to 400%, meaning that everything in your body starts to work better. So everyone's detox period can be different. Some people can be shorter, some people can be longer. It all depends what you have in your body since before, what kind of, how much inflammation do you have, what kind of toxins do you have, and it doesn't even need to be a person that lives bad. Like I have been living like a crazy healthy person for so long. I still had a detox period because we live in a society where you see they want to fuck us up. That's what they want. They want to fuck up our food and they want to fuck up, put chemicals in everything, and now they want to shove freaking chemicals in our teeth. Like it's everywhere. So everyone's going to detox something. Everybody more or less though. But with now I'm very excited for you to take the betalain. So the betalain comes from beets. It's the anti-inflammatory property in a beet. So we extract the betalains, remove all the sugar molecules, so there's no sugars, because beets are anti-inflammatory, but sugar is inflammatory. So it kind of contradicts itself, right? So we extract all the sugar molecules. So the betalain, and one capsule is equivalent to 500 beets, which you can't eat that. It's not possible. So you take it, it reduces inflammation 47% in, depending on the person, about 90 minutes to 9 days. So you will definitely feel something if you haven't already done
Yeah,
so.
And another thing is when I was younger, I had asthmatic bronchitis. So I had a hard time breathing, got a lot of cold, stuff like that. And back then, I used a breather, right? I stopped it a long time ago, but my lung capacity was like 75% of what it should be. And
How do you measure that? Or how do you know that?
I messaged it at the doctor's office. So they got certain techniques to measure it, and it was 75%. So they were like, well, the breather isn't working. So they were giving a highly concentrated dose of the breather I was using, and then I had to do the test again. And after that test, my lung capacity was at 50%, so it was even less
Oh, it
than
was making it worse, the freaking.
without making it worse. So then I stopped using breathers. I was like, screw that shit. And after I got my gut problems, I got into alternative medicine deeper, and I used high doses of vitamin C, and I used the L-ascorbine version, the real powdered version.
Yeah.
And with that, I cured a chronic inflammation within my gut, which I had for 3 years. I cured a lot of other things just by using vitamin C. That's how insane that can work. But I took 10 times the dose that the doctors will tell you to take, because the dose they tell you to take is not enough.
Like nothing.
It's not enough to stay healthy. It's almost nothing. So I cured that, and then later on I had another lung exam, and I had 100% that I needed. So yeah, it was inflammation causing it.
Yes,
But
inflammation is the root cause to everything. Pretty much.
when I was starting the Ace-Menon, in the old days I had chest pains. It was always somewhere in the middle, in the bronchia area, or whatever it's called in English. But during Ace-Menon, I got back for a short time, like a week or something. Again, I got chest pains that I used to have. Probably because of scar tissue or something like that. I don't know, but
there's probably
it got
something
back.
still back there that never got resolved. Root cause, as I say, it gets a little worse before it gets better. So it will.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I go to the saunas a lot. I like to expose myself to extreme heat and to extreme cold. So the thing I do, I go into 90 degrees Celsius sauna for 15 minutes, and then I go in an ice bath instantly for 5 minutes. So I go from extreme hot into extreme cold. And that always works perfect for me. I get really awake and, get fit and stronger. But I was going to the sauna while I was just on the Ace-Menon, and I was almost fainting.
Really?
And I never had that, fainting in a sauna. So I felt that I was about to faint. So the first thing I did was go into an ice bath, just to stay awake and not to faint. And then it went over, but I was like, how the hell am I fainting? The last time that happened was when I had type 2 diabetes, and I cured that. Because then I would faint like 3 times a day. I would just go poof, and I would wake up like 10 minutes later and stuff like that.
There might be traces left of all of your old shit. That it was, you probably reversed a lot of it, but maybe not all of it. And now it's all coming out.
Yeah, my type 2 diabetes was a combination of fast food and alcohol.
Yeah.
I was an alcoholic back then.
I used to be hypoglycemic. I didn't have diabetes, but I was hypoglycemic. I would, if I didn't eat, I would be on the ground shaking. My mom had to carry like chocolate and shit everywhere we went.
Yeah, mine was similar. I would first sweat and shake, get really cold, or even better said, I would feel that I was cold, but I was heating up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I would faint eventually. Then my body would just reset itself, and I would wake up 10 minutes later and it was all good again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was due to a really unhealthy lifestyle. So yeah, those were the crazy things that were happening. But the good things is I feel more energized and focused, only by immune. And before my burnout from my latest job, I always had hyper focus. I could, focus like 8 hours non-stop on something. Like writing that book, that takes the translation takes a lot of focus, right? You don't write a book with having no focus. But that also came back, and it was like gone like 3 years ago. It was just, a burnout. It basically destroys your brain. It destroys your. It puts a lot of stress hormone in your body, and thanks to that, you get a lot of brain fog, and you can only focus like 30 minutes or something like that.
Yes.
And yeah, I got that back, and I always used to have it, so I'm glad it's back. So those are the two positive things that happened after 1 week of crazy stuff.
It's so early still. So I said for some people, your detox seems to have gone extremely quick though, because it is, and that's it. Not for everybody. Everybody's different. It's very hard to say exactly what's going to happen to somebody, but I would say that most people probably have something to detox. So like I love how you shared like the whole story of all the things you used to have, because it might have been almost gone, but clearly there was still something in there that needed to come out of you. So if all of these things now happened, now your body's probably okay, toxins gone, now we can truly start to heal, and little things will come out of you. I even had a girl tell me once, she started it, and so this person had an autoimmune disease, but she would never get sick. Like I was kind of the same in the past. I would never have a cold, never flu, nothing like that. But I would have like weird injuries, inflammation, shit, and hormone wacko things like going on with me. So she started taking it and she got a fever. And she called me. She's like, Maaxx, something is wrong. I don't know what's going on. I never get sick. I'm like, you have an autoimmune disease. Like your body probably has been screaming to get sick, to get shit out of you. Because we do, like us healthy, strong people, we never get sick, but maybe your body just needs to fucking get sick one time and just get it out, Like we need to detox, and it can happen in so many different ways, but something has got to come out, And typically, like in the perfect world, we would just be living and eating and pooping and peeing, right? Like that would be it. It wouldn't come out in any other way, but unfortunately, that's just not how the world is.
Yeah, and that's why I like to take saunas, because then you also heat up like with a fever. It's basically the same thing. You sweat out all the toxins. That's why I do that, especially during the winters, because there are many flu diseases running around, and I just when I don't take the sauna, I get sick easier than when I take the sauna. So that to me is like prevention to get sick.
Yeah. I would love to hear. So when the first time I had Ben on not the first time maybe, but I had Ben on my live, I think when he was on his probably second week on the Ace Man, and he had the same thing. He had detox symptoms. And then I had him back the other day. I don't know if you heard it. And now he was like, holy shit, I am like a superhuman. I was like, I know, you just needed to detox, and now everything is happening. And he's even said like his hair is growing back and all kinds of stuff. So I'm super curious to see like where you are in like 4 weeks or something, and then kind of see, okay, this happened first and now this is going on. So it's cool.
Yeah, like I said, I got the battle lines and immune, so that's I keep you updated about it.
I was trying to ship you all the samples. They said I couldn't send it to the Netherlands because they would stop it in customs. And I was like, what the fuck? I was trying.
Yeah, when I ordered it comes from Austria.
Yeah.
Where the German painter came from.
Yes. Ultimately, we will be in all countries soon enough.
Yeah, that's gonna be amazing. So yeah, back to the politics,
Yes.
because yeah, let me do some predicting the future,
we
because
were on the BRICS. Did you talk about the BRICS? I
yeah,
don't think so.
not yet. So that's gonna be really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out about the BRICS because I have a Chinese friend.
Uh-huh.
He lived in the Netherlands. He's a multimillionaire. He now lives in Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
So, he knows how life works and how to get rich and stuff like that. A really interesting person. And the crazy thing is, if a Chinese person tells you you are his friend, he tells it out of being polite to you.
Uh-huh.
If he tells you you are my friend, you aren't their friend, because in Chinese culture, Chinese want to remain in the inner circles with other Chinese people. They don't like outsiders. But this guy, he calls me a brother, and he told me when a Chinese person calls you a brother,
Yeah.
then you know 100% that you are a friend.
Oh, okay.
So
Good to know.
and he told me about the BRICS system, and BRICS, it comes from the first letters of the countries that are in it, and that's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And it's first of all, it's an economic system where they create a new coin, a new, a new like the dollar, but the dollar is based on stock and on lies, but the BRICS system is based on resources. For example, China is buying all the gold, silver, and copper, and materials for computer chips. That's why they work with Africa, because they are mining like crazy to build batteries, to build microchips, stuff like that. So their whole economic system is not based on lies and the Jewish systems, but it's based on resources. So basically, because it's Russia and India and China, really big countries, they will eventually control every single resource in the world. Oil, chips, copper, gold, silver, you name it. And you know who controls the resources controls the world, right? So the American dollar will eventually fall.
Oh, it
because
already has, and that's what I've been trying to tell people for a while. I was like, don't rely on these fucking dollars; they're not gonna matter.
because it's not worth anything. But the brick system, it's gonna be really dangerous because they work together and they say it's an economical cooperation, but it's also a war machine because China has the biggest fleet in the world. They control the oceans.
Oh.
If China goes to war, when it comes to sea battle, they will win from the Western world.
Oh yeah.
Russia has a lot of ground troops and air force, and China also has air force. Then you have India, they have a lot of foot soldiers and tanks and stuff like that. So when shit hits the fan and a real world war will happen, the Western civilization will fall. Because the BRICS will own resources and we will own only a US dollar based on lies, based on air. So
What do you think,
the only thing we...
What do you think time-wise when this could happen?
Well, right now China is, exploiting Africa for the microchips, and they use the microchips in their, I think it's called the J-22, the airplane, and it's the most advanced jet in the world. It can instantly stop in mid-air while it's flying. It can instantly stop. So let's pretend it's, an American plane a jet is chasing the Chinese jet, and the Chinese jet instantly stops. and the American plane can't stop. Then the Chinese plane is behind the American plane.
Yep.
Another weapon they have advanced laser technology. They can literally just put a laser on another jet and just cut it in half midair.
Yep.
So they don't have to shoot. Bullets take time to get from A to B. A laser doesn't need time to get from A to B.
Yep.
So yeah, they
before
are.
I finish it. I'm eating here. This is straight from my friend's farm. He makes his own jerky out of the meat I get, so it's 100% grass-fed, grass-finished. I don't eat any other bullshit. If somebody wonder what I was snacking on. I'm not even a jerky person, but these are really good.
I imagine stuff from the farm is always the best.
Yeah, I have half a cow here in my freezer.
Nice. Yeah, I always buy my stuff from the local farm. It's the best. So yeah, when it comes to BRICS, and a war will happen, then I think the new world order will really start, because the BRICS, all those countries, they also go to the World Economic Forum. Yeah. So basically, they want to, take the power from the Western world, give it to the Eastern world, and then they can force people into slavery and into the new world order and stuff like that. So they will. It's gonna be crazy. If the BRICS pulls off, we are all doomed. Every civilian in the Western world.
So let's not make that freaking happen.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to stop playing the game.
Exactly. So yeah, that's BRICS for you. So look into it. It's BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. But also Iran is in it now, and other countries. So it's really
it then.
yeah. But do your research in it.
Yeah.
Like I said, the Agenda 2030, 2045, transhumanism, 15-minute cities, social credit system, which already is in place in China, the social credit system. They got smart cameras everywhere, and they will know where everybody is at. So if they are out of their 15-minute zone, they will get a fine. They have to pay a fine for that. Or they get arrested. So yeah,
can they request to go out?
Yeah, if they got a social credit score, they can.
Yeah.
So they're like these gates, and the cameras will recognize your face, and if you have no social credit, you can go through the gate, else you can't. Yep. That's China for you.
Yep, it's like all of these freaking movies. I don't even remember the name of them, but it's like all of these freaking movies. So all the movies are documentaries. So whatever you guys are watching right now, and you think, oh, there's some cool futuristic shit. Yeah, that's coming. So stop looking at movies thinking there's some fun made up stuff. It's not made up. It's all reality.
It's basically the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Basically. Because the social credit system can also forbid you from buying food. And buying water, and
because you got too much already. Yeah, as far as I understand, it's going to be like a supply, right? Each person has a certain supply, and that's what you get. So maybe you guys should start practicing some fasting so you can survive this, and not eat much food.
So yeah, that's the BRICS. Also really interesting. And now we get into the most wild thing, and that has to do with the Dutch government, but also government people worldwide. And that is, it has to do with cults. It has to do with the darker side of politics. I mean, we already discussed a lot of dark sides, but this one is really wild, and it's pedophile wings. It's all the pedophiles that control the world, and
Somebody
I didn't.
It says kill a pedo on the shirt, and I said, why doesn't it say kill all pedos? Because I said, well, when you're new to this, maybe you should start slow and start with one, but once you warmed up, let's take them all.
Yeah, exactly. So Yeah, I didn't really do research in the American rings. I do know you got the Epstein thing happening,
Yeah,
which
I'm sure
also
that
had
I'm
some.
sure all of them are connected too. I'm sure that that network, I don't even know if that's like country based. I'm sure it's all the same. Because if you really think, do you know the first time ever I got exposed to this, I was, I'm gonna say probably 15, 16 years old, and I had just started going to the gym with my guy friends, like lifting weights and stuff. And there was this one friend of mine whose brother owned this little cool Grand Shi gym where we would train. And turns out that they found a whole collection of little foreign boys upstairs in the gym. So I mean, a lot of
Yes.
times the children that they're taking or trafficking and all that good stuff, it's not necessarily from the country they're in anyway. So I'm sure it's all one and the same.
So yeah, when we look into such rings,
Mm-hmm.
the Epstein case, the Diddy case, that's all kind of new, right? And the Nickelodeon Disney case about Quiet
Yeah.
on the Set, that documentary, The Sound of Freedom, that movie, that's coming out,
Yep.
2024,
Uh-huh.
2023. But before that, a lot of wild stuff happened in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
One of the most interesting thing is the first link I gave you. It's the
Uh-huh. I'm just gonna show
Stichting
this real quick.
Martijn.
If anybody didn't know this, so this is the Epstein Island, the house there. And then if you look at the Disney logo there, it's the same little pattern.
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it?
Yep.
So let me tell
So this
you
is
a
the
little
first
bit
one.
about the first thing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's Stichting Martijn. It's a political party
Uh-huh.
that wanted to make it legal for adults
Uh-huh.
to have sex with children.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted to make it legal for pedophiles to do their thing, basically.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And eventually, in 2013, it was forbidden, that party.
Yeah.
But they have been around since the 80s.
Huh.
And they wanted to legalize pedophilia. The government even allowed it, to have a party like
We're
that.
part of it too.
So yeah, crazy, isn't it, to have a political party that actually wants to legalize pedophilia, and that no judge, nobody does anything against it. And another crazy thing Rob told me is that in the Netherlands we have pornography of 16 and 17-year-olds.
What is your
We
legal
even got
age over there? Because in Sweden it's 15.
16.
Yeah. Okay. In
16.
Sweden we have 15 is the legal age. And yeah, if anybody hasn't heard the whole Pornhub thing, so Pornhub shut down was 91% of all their content because it had children in it.
Yeah, it's going really wild.
Yep.
So yeah, that's one thing. We had a political party like that in the 90s. Then we go to 1996, the Mark the True case. You remember I told you about before the European Union was there, we had the Benelux, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, the three countries working together. They were kind of like the ground core of the European Union. And Mark the True, he was a serial killer, a child trafficker, child rapist, child killer, everything. And when he was arrested, there were a lot of rumors, and Mark the True even said it in court himself, that a lot of politicians were involved in his child trafficking, because he was just a middleman, right?
Yeah.
And he was arrested, and law case was there. And I mean, if you have so many children trafficking, it can't be just one guy, right? There's always more involved. There are the providers and there are the customers, and he was just a
And I
middleman.
mean,
He was
you don't know either, because it is as freaking horrible as it sounds, but there are also people that just give birth to children to sell them. That is a very big
exactly.
problem, and a lot of times, actually, that's how it is. It is the parents that have play a
Yes.
part in it.
So the Mark the True case, there were rumors. I gotta say rumors because I can't prove it.
Yeah.
That there were, politicians involved in the whole pedophile, child killer, child trafficking ring, and thanks to that, a lot of people got on the streets to riot against the system. They wanted to riot against the justice system, against the political system, because they were fed up with it. That stuff like that happens. And when Mark the True was saying his stuff in court, they silenced him. He wasn't allowed to call names of the ones involved. So basically, they arrested Mark the True, they arrested his wife, and it was case done. They never ever did research.
Rumble stopped streaming? Why? Wait, but why would it do that? We don't want to stop Rumble. Okay, I'm gonna have to continue without Rumble, it says. That's not good. I think Joel had that happen to him too yesterday.
Maybe because we told the truth?
But it's Rumble.
Yeah.
That's very interesting, actually. That is the last platform I would think did that.
Can you restart it, the Rumble?
We'd have to end the broadcast and start again if we're gonna do that.
We could do that because I think it's
I mean, yeah, we
quite
can.
fast. Yeah?
We can do it. Yeah, so I will just finish it. Just save the video real quick. So come back in a couple of minutes. Okay, guys, we're going to restart it because somehow we lost Rumble, which is not good. So I will see you guys in a minute here.
Yes. Be right there.
Yes.